Welcome to the Coffee Bar Stories,
A DTZ Entertainment Presentation.
hosted by Dad and Son.
All right, folks, we got Fluffy with us again, and we're going to do some catch up. And I must say this one more time that this is not the Fluffy the comedian, this is our buddy Fluffy. So I'll have Son go ahead and take it from here and get the catching.
How you doing, Fluffy? It's been a while since we've had you on, a whole 10 episodes. How's life been?
Life's changed.
It has. One of the big things changed. You finally moved out of your parents' basement.
I'm a family man now.
Yeah, went from just living with your parents to all of a sudden family man. How's that treated?
It's swell.
Swell, is it?
It's a change.
Is it a change that's good for you? Or
Oh,
is
yeah.
It, okay, so it's more you're trying to get into the groove of the change as far as,
Yep.
new
I not
place
only
to
moved out of
live.
my parents' house for the first time, but I moved in with someone else. And then on top of that, there's a child involved, too. So it's a
Balancing.
whole different balance of different things going on.
Well, that's good. At least you're taking in good strides and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So, you want to talk about when you moved? How that was, since it was just you and me basically moving all your crap. I got to admit, it's probably one of the easiest moving jobs I've ever had to, work on.
Yeah,
Not
I
too-
don't have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, not too much had to be moved.
Not a lot of heavy furniture, I take it.
You only had what? Your mattress.
The mattress is the heaviest thing.
The mattress had to have been the heaviest thing, because then there was what, your
Well,
gun
yeah.
safe and your dresser.
The drawers were out of the dresser.
Yeah, made
Oh,
it 10
okay.
times
We
easier.
left everything in the dresser drawers and then just moved the drawers individually.
Oh yeah, that's the best way to do it. Make it light as possible. God, I'd rather make a couple extra trips than break my back anymore. Now at my age, it's got to the point where I got to work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, definitely.
I used to bulldog that stuff. Like, I had beers to go get too. In my early years, I'd run you out the house quick. We can start running in, grabbing things. I don't care if half the stuff's still in it. We'll go.
Yeah.
That's back then. That's the way it was. I moved about 6, 7 people in my lifetime. Big moves and stuff where it took all day long and that. We just, the lure of beer for us.
Yeah.
Me and a couple buddies, we go and we just tear it up, just start yanking stuff out the house. They'd have it prepared because we tell them when we show up, we're going to walk in, start picking up and carrying out. We're not there to pack.
It's
We'll
like
get you out the house.
It's like when we went up north to get all of the stuff out of Grandma's.
Oof, yeah.
That's it. Now that was hard.
That was excessive.
Oh, yeah, extremely excessive.
There's
but-
still a ton up there to go through too.
Mhm.
It's going to be a long process.
Listen,
but that's
if
a
I was
different
in that
type.
house, I'd want to make that entire upstairs a whole, just cool ass space.
It's got the potential. It's a big open attic spot.
Mhm.
It's really big. It's
There's
just
a lot of
gets,
potential in there.
It gets ungodly hot up there.
But
Yeah.
that's workable. A little insulation in the walls, spray foam, closed celled or open celled is better for the closed cell is better if you're gonna tighten it up a little bit. But
Yeah, you definitely have to get some type of airflow up there.
insulation,
definitely.
insulation, and open up a vent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, put us in a medium-sized unit for up there. Probably would cool it just fine. Well, you can actually get one where you wouldn't even have to worry about taking it out. You could say we had one at the place I worked. It was an air conditioner unit when you looked at it, but it was a heater in the winter. You could turn it to heat.
Oh okay.
Yeah, that was nice.
They got those units that you run the plumbing on the outside of the house and it goes down to the bottom, and they're on individual walls. My mom actually put that in at the house here in town.
Okay.
Crazy.
Oh yeah. When like moving and everything like that, like you did and stuff, you got to figure out what you're gonna get afterwards. Now there's your biggest issue.
I'm still trying to figure out my financials.
Yeah. That's another
Hasn't
thing.
even been a full month yet.
Oh, that's everybody's kind of got their own way of doing that.
I want to get a truck. My buddy just bought a new truck. He's probably going to end up selling his old one, and I want to see if I got the financials to be able to buy it. My buddy just bought a new GMC. He's got an old Dakota I want to buy.
Oh, okay. He was able to get his truck. I take it then.
Mm-hmm. He got his new truck without trading in his old one.
Oh wow.
So he's still got 2 vehicles at home.
Well, shoot, that's nice to have 2 trucks. You don't get that much.
And he said he's probably only going to sell the other one for like $4,000. I'm like, you want to sell that for $4,000? Let me know.
Yeah, that's not too bad of a price right there.
I'll just use it to move the bike around if I need to. I could fit my bike in the back bed.
Trying to store stuff up.
Yeah. What you need is to find a vehicle that can hold more than 2 kayaks. That's what we need.
Hey, look, if I got that truck, we put 2 kayaks on the roof and then fill the bed with stuff.
Yeah, see, as a point, get the truck.
That's my point here.
So how's this gonna work out with you? Are you gonna be able to still run around as you please, or are you gonna have to start picking and choosing when you go out to do stuff, or what do you
Still
do?
trying to figure that one out. Me and the old lady were talking about that the other day. A little bit.
Yeah.
'Cause during the wintertime, I'm a homebody. But when it gets nice, I'm never home.
Yeah.
I'm always out doing something.
Yeah, that you're gonna have to find a balance in that, but that's something that comes. I
Yeah.
really in that one, I don't care. You could talk to 1,000 to 1,000,000,000 people, and everybody has all different advice for it. It's really gonna come down to how it works for you two.
Yep.
You know, so that's at least there you guys are both prepared for that kind of thing. That always helps out too, knowing that okay, we gotta work through a schedule, but we gotta wait and see how we gonna make a schedule.
Yeah.
Especially not quite a month yet. So you guys, I'd say for about 3-4 months, you guys will start getting a routine together and this and that, and you'll know okay, watch out for this. We got this coming up. I always kept it simple for myself. I used the calendar, and when the bills came in, I always write them on my calendar, the date, for my pay every week. Made it real nice, so every Friday, I just sat down and, okay, on the calendar, this are the bills, and I pay them. But as far as saving money, you come up with a good way, you let me know.
Me too. I mean, sheesh.
I find it hard to just even to put $20 away anymore, especially in this, with the way the economy is at the moment. I've had to make some sacrifices, I guess.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So
It's life. It's a give and take.
Oh yeah. So
Unforgiving.
Fluffy, you gonna do the river road bike rides a few times, or?
Me and my buddy consider that a local ride. We did a whole 8-9 hour ride yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Went down to southern Illinois and did a big loop back, about 176 miles.
Oh
something
wow.
like that.
That's a long ride.
I didn't get home till 5:30 last night and left at 9.
That's a full day. It's definitely a full
Yeah,
day.
especially for him, considering he likes to cut his days off early as is.
I had bowling. Otherwise, I would have stayed out longer.
Yeah, I bet you would have. What's your bowling score?
I don't know. The bowling just finished up, and I
Yeah.
haven't bowled in a few weeks.
I was about to say, because the last time I went with you to one of your leagues, you had a score that you've been wanting to get, and you were pissed that you got it in that game. And I don't remember what it was.
200.
See, I bowl a good 5. I'm not good at bowling.
I'm fair at it. I haven't done it in a long time, but I could do it all right. I'm not no high score person or nothing, and I never bowled on a league. Me and the buddies like to go on a Saturday night or something and bowl.
Just something to do to casually hang out or something like that.
Yeah, wintertime mostly when it was cold out. Because we like to run the cornfields and whatnot during the summer.
Me and my buddy got this headset system for our helmets, and it totally changed our ride yesterday.
Did it? So how
How
that
did
working?
that work out?
So it worked out really well. Being able to communicate back and forth while riding is really helpful. Instead of having to pull over and talk, you just hit a button and we're talking, or if we want to listen to our music, we hit the button and we're listening to our own music.
Was it
Just
easy to
going.
set it up?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
If you get too far from each other, which honestly it goes about almost a mile before it disconnects. Crazy. It'll automatically reconnect and say rider A connected or rider B connected, or
Okay.
depending on how many people you got.
That's what I was going to ask is how fast does it reconnect?
Really fast. The moment it's in range, it'll automatically pop.
Oh, that's real nice. So
Most of the time, you don't even know it's disconnected or reconnected.
That is real nice, and the mile's pretty good for something like that.
And that's through hilly terrain too. I can't imagine on a straight, no hill, no blockage.
Yeah.
Oh,
I couldn't see him behind me whenever originally we're testing out the distance. It was pretty good.
Wasn't too expensive, was it?
About $160 after taxes.
That's about the going price for
which
electronics
honestly is really
that.
it's totally worth the money. Recommend any guy on a bike get it.
There you go.
Oh yeah, makes
Plus
it a
it's
lot
good. You can
better.
make phone calls when you're riding. I made a couple phone calls while riding yesterday, and no one knows you're riding.
That's real nice.
Well, yeah, it's completely hands free.
Oh yeah.
So you ain't
I
got
just
nothing
say,
to worry
hey,
about.
device, connect, or hey, call so and so, and it'll do it.
You're not getting distracted trying to fumble around, especially on a bike.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
I got my phone right here, but that's just so I can see the time or the direction I'm going.
Oh
if
yeah.
I got the GPS up, but other than that, I just go. I keep my sound off on the GPS because that gets annoying after a while.
Oh yeah, it does. It gets extremely annoying.
But driving a truck for a little bit really helped with. Oh, you got a turn coming up in however long, so you know what to look for.
Yeah, some of those GPSs, it depends on what you got. They'll tell you right on the point, or others
Mm-hmm.
tell you turning this, and then you're getting up on it. Where's the turn? It ain't here, and it's actually farther down than what they said. Yeah, it gets some of
The
them.
delay
it
is
gets pretty
sometimes
rough.
annoying. Not this version of phone, but the other version of phone's maps suck. It will tell you when you're there, but it's delayed by 5 seconds, so you're past the turn before it does it, and it
Okay.
stutters.
See,
It's
I
horrible.
don't like
Great.
that. That's especially like going out to their uncles and stuff. You can't just 5 seconds. You're shot by quite a bit out there.
Mhm.
It needs to be telling you. You know, you can't have that delay out there.
Oh, yeah, no,
he's
you
out.
can't.
He's out in the North 40th, where these roads are just right there. There's no
Yep.
real signage coming up to them. Hell, half
Well,
of
there
them
were some
are
roads
numbers.
yesterday that you don't see the turn. You just fly on by it, and you're like, oh, I think that was a driveway. Nope, that's the road. Let's go.
Yep.
You got to do a UE and go.
Yeah, see, that's what I don't like about that, because or if we had an old GPS that actually was in the car.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
all it was. And this thing's maps, I don't know how out of date, by 5, 6, 7 years easy at the point we were using it. And it never got us to their uncle's house the right way. It brought us in, program in there, push it every time, and it would take us a different way each time.
Yeah. And didn't we have to go through back roads eventually just to
Well-
get to him? Or was it because of the GPS choosing
Mom-
different routes?
Because your mom wants to take, she don't like interstate rides.
Okay.
That's one thing
Me
about
either.
their mother.
I'd
She
rather just take
hates.
side roads. You get a much
Well,
better view.
It's not really for the view. She doesn't like for the traffic and for the speed and all that. She's a nervous car rider. We'll say that.
Yeah.
But the back roads, she likes to take that, which are 10 times as long, to get all the way around. By the time you get to the road you want to get on, it kind of really goes to his house with limited turns. You could get there within 40 minutes cutoff time if you just went 2 different interstates and you've been
Mm-hmm.
right off that exit too, where you're wanting to hit the back roads, because it is back roaded to his house. But the way she goes, it's about 40 extra minutes and
Mhm.
stuff. And it's a nice ride. You see a lot of different things, and that's what I like about it, because the way you head out,
Yeah.
it goes past so many things that are so nostalgic still. People just living like the slow life, I guess is what you consider it. You don't see them in a hustle bustle. You go through these towns, and it's like they're just.
That's the beauty of being
mellow.
on a bike, man. You see all these people that are out and about. You join a group of riders, and you just haul with them for a little bit. I didn't use the GPS at all yesterday. I just pulled up my map and see what road we need to turn on and just be watching for it after so many miles.
There you go.
Yeah, that's you miss your turn, you just look up how to get back to your route eventually. That's the beauty of not having a real plan when I'm out on the bike.
Yeah.
It's just the freedom to do whatever I want because I got the whole day booked for just that.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's wonderful. It's a
as
great
long
feeling.
as you got the time
Yep.
frame for it. That's always nice to be able to do. Nothing worse than getting caught up trying to get a ride in tight time frame, and then
Yep.
hurry back, or because all of a sudden you look forward. Oh man, what's that up ahead? Next thing you know, you're going 20 miles farther, 30 miles, whatever on a bike. Miles click by you like
And
nothing.
sometimes you just, you take a wrong turn, and next thing you know, you're finding that next cool little destination you want to come back and see. Or
Oh yeah.
found
That-
one yesterday. It was a whole rock city. Like it was like houses built into the rock, or just stuff carved out. It was really cool.
That is neat. Yeah, you'll see a lot more. Right when I was younger than me, my uncle rode. Miles click by. It's nothing to throw a ton of miles on without realizing. Our thing was we had to be careful how far out we got, getting back in time for whatever we had to do.
Yeah.
Because we like to go, and then back when I was younger, we played a lot of co-ed softball, and our team was made up of the cousins and uncles and aunts that were still wanting to play and stuff, and we go for that ride, but we'd have to watch it because there were a few times we had to push our luck a little bit, getting back a little hurrier than we should be.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the interstates, though. You know, if you want to get off the beaten trail and get on the road and haul ass, you can. My bike will do my bike's made to cruise 65, 70, 75 at low RPM in the final. I never touched my last gear all day yesterday, except on the ride back when I was riding by myself. My buddy's bike's not made to go fast. I mean, he's got a Sportster. It's made to take off, but it's just made to go. It's just made to go slow on the side roads if he's riding, not made to just continuously go fast.
Yeah, Sportsters. I never rode one, but they seem like the chopped down version for the Harleys, like the affordable Harley for most people. Cause
they got a lot of low end speed, but after their top end's gone, he'll get me off a line, but I'll blow by him after I get to my last gear.
Yeah, I think when that thing was actually introduced was catered for the younger. Want to ride a Harley because of the Harley name, but wanted that little speed, not such a bulk of a bike, I think is what it was about.
Yeah.
I seen probably 3 or 4 guys I knew I went to school with that like had motorcycles, had Sportsters and stuff they bought.
I want to get a Road King. I either want to get one with a big front fairing and the whole big setup, or just one without it and have the 2 bags on the back and just go.
Oh, them leathers bags are nice. But
I got the leather bags now. I kind of want a hard bag that I can lock.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because you just got, the buckles on the one currently? That's not really going to hold pinch either.
You want the box. Yeah, I know.
Hard case.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, like a lock box of some sort.
Yeah, now those are nice too. You can get some really tricked out ones too.
I've been looking at some online, so they're all right. I mean, some of them are pricey, some of them aren't.
Yeah.
Depends on what you're looking for. Them how they store things and what all they offer in it.
And it just depends on the year of them. Some of them you gotta open this way, some of them open that way, some of them from the back to front or front to back.
Okay.
It just depends, however much money you want to spend for the options that you get.
Well, with hard cased, also if you do happen to have a spill or slide or something, you're not losing everything in your cases as easy.
That's similar to what I've been looking at lately.
Oh, those are nice, yeah. Those are. But those are customized to put.
A lot of those are custom
for the Harleys.
Any bike you get, everyone always makes it theirs, which is the beauty of the bike world. Is there's so many options out there. No matter what brand you have, some brands coincide with each other, some don't. There's a lot of people that make parts that'll make stuff that's like a universal mount, but it'll go for any style bag to any style bike, and you can put a Harley bag on a Suzuki bike or vice versa, or it's like I could buy a Harley fairing and put it on my bike with a custom mount made from this random guy in the middle of Utah or something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Really cool stuff out there. Like the bike world is huge.
That's cool.
Yeah, I do got a question though. Seeing that you have been getting out and riding and everything, and have been riding a year or two like that, have you been seeing any of the choppers? Because I don't see choppers anymore.
I saw one last night. They aren't that popular no more. Okay. Ever since American Choppers disappeared off television, I've never really seen any. Now I see the ape hangers all the time.
I don't know.
The handlebars, yeah.
The ape hangers, those are popular.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why.
But
if you're gonna ride all day, you don't want your arms sitting up here.
Yeah, because choppers are with the elongated front end forks. They stick real far out in front of the bike, and the back wheel is it's like a slick. Huge off of like a race car.
I got oversized front and rear tires, but mine's also a cruiser. It's made to go for a long time. It's made to run over stuff if need be. And
yours is for comfort. Yours is what Honda put out there for your average Joe, basically bike rider that didn't want to spend a ton of money.
I could buy a brand new version of my bike for $15,000. So
yeah, Well, the Goldwing,
Yeah.
that was designed for comfort, for the long haul.
The Honda Goldwing will forever be known as the ultimate old man cruising bike. It is. It's got everything from your heated seats to heated grips
Oh, yeah.
to the radio to a motorized windscreen in the front to adjust your wind and everything. That is the ultimate creature comfort bike.
Honda knew they couldn't compete with Harley on purely by name. Name alone, Harley was killing it by the name alone besides their bike styles. They knew they couldn't touch nothing like that, so they opted to go a different direction and cater to the people who want luxury
Yep.
and stuff like that, because not everybody...
They also make a lot of trailers.
Harleys
believe it or
are... You got to be a certain type of person to be able to just ride a Harley all the time.
not. Mhm.
I know quite a few people that bought Harleys that ended up selling them off because they just didn't like the ride on them. They were uncomfortable.
They have a lot of vibration.
And they bought like Ducatis or, Hondas or Yamahas or whatever type bikes. Now, I'll tell you, Ducati, my friend up north, his Ducatis, he has 2 different ones. Those things, ungodly, can do some stuff. That
They
thing
are
go
fast.
off-road, on-road, and just tear it up. Either way you go, you ain't catching one. It's
Harley
gone.
just came out with I think it's a new bike. I think so, but they have a similar to one, kind of like how the what they call the African touring bikes. So they're like a dirt bike, but it's for on road and off road. But you have your hard saddlebags on, like your hard cases that are made to be removable. Harley just came out with one of those within the last few years, and it's a comparable bike, but it's not as good as some of the other ones that are out there. They're made for their sportsters or their baggers, and these other companies are made for, every brand's got their signature bike. Honda's got the Goldwing and cars. Suzuki's got the, most of these car dealerships have a lot of bikes, but Harley's got their Road Kings, which is one of the most popular bikes for their sportsters. Suzuki has the Hayabusa, super
Okay.
popular bike. Kawasaki's got the Ninja.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
it's just Honda's got the Rebel. Honda Rebel is one of the most well-known Honda bikes out there.
Oh, okay. That's the one that kind of looks like the Harley then.
Yeah, they
Okay.
got a
Yeah, I
similar
remember
one that
when
looks
they
like a
came out
Sportster.
with I don't remember the brand of the companies, but they tried to throw a couple Harley looks out, but with their engine on it. They didn't V-twin it. That's how you do when you seen it. But the tanks and the style was more on a Harley style, but the engine would be a dead giveaway. It's straight.
They got a
up and
Honda's
down.
got a VTX. I think it's Honda. They got a VTX Vortex engine that's just
Oh, I imagine,
fantastic.
as far as engine-wise goes, I imagine Harley can't compete with the Yamaha and Hondas.
They're trying. They just came
Yeah.
out with a Crate 131, I think it is. It's like 136 horsepower.
Are they
think.
still employee-owned?
I'm not entirely sure on that one.
I mean the manufacturing, because if I remember, it's American-owned. They kind of did it like employees-owned.
I'll have to look that one up actually. Yeah, Harley's got the Crate 131, and if you put the Screaming Eagle package on it, let me get the specs for you. It's one of their engines that they just released. It has 131 foot-pounds of torque to the rear wheel, oil-cooled, which is good.
Now, they still staying with the V-twin, though.
Yeah, this is a
Okay.
V-twin.
I hope they would stick with their signature.
Oh yeah, most bikes you got a V-twins, whether they're doing the V style or if they're going the outside. Now Indian's been doing a lot better too. Indian motorcycles. They had a time where they were kind of crappy on their manufacturing, but now they're coming back, and hell, they got a bike that's actually one of my dream bikes.
There you go.
Indian probably got a boost, a movie or an actor or something had gotten into it, and they like the bike a lot. They'll pump it up just on their own, social media and everything else too.
Which I'd never looked at Indian's website until yesterday for the first time, and I was looking at their website, and they cater to everybody, from those who want to spend $30,000 on a motorcycle to those that want to spend only 5 or 10. They cater to everyone. I didn't know that, and that's actually, I'm gonna go look at a dealership at them here in a few weeks.
What if
Just
I
to
only
check it
wanna
out.
spend like $250 and maybe a couple Chuck E. Cheese
That,
tokens?
that may
Yeah,
get
well-
that may get you a frame.
Yeah, as
that.
long as somebody isn't catered to all of them. Why just one person, one
Yeah.
style of bike, or one price
There's
of bike?
a lot of
you
there's a
know?
lot of the manufacturers have that. If you go on their actual websites, a lot of these dealers don't have the variety unless you go to a major dealer,
Nah.
which around here is hard to find.
Okay, yeah, if you head over to the big cities.
Yeah,
Yeah, it gets to the point where the internet's helped out a big time, but for a purchase like that, all it does is help you to find a place, and then now how far do I gotta go to get to it?
Which the beauty of the internet is you can find a bike online, call up a shop from that town, say, hey, do you guys mind if I give you a few bucks, check out this bike for me and tell me if it'd be a good buy, and then you can buy the bike and ship it wherever you need for like $300 or $400 sometimes, if that. Which is the same if you custom ordered a bike on a website on one of these big dealer sites and had it shipped to a
local dealership.
Yeah, a local dealer. This costs about the same as shipping it from anywhere in the country, really.
Oh, okay. Because I know they had that. It was a TV show for a minute. You ship or whatever, where these guys would just take on odd shipping things and stuff.
Shipping wars.
Yeah. Where they shipped out. Somebody I think bought a antique phone booth from a Europe style.
Oh,
but
okay.
The guy didn't know when he showed up because he didn't check into it heavily that it was cast iron. Didn't come with the right stuff to load it up and all that.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was. But I figured people like that, shoot, you could probably get your bike brought to you for quite a good deal. $300. And we'll say the farthest point from us in the country. That's not a bad deal, because that's mileage.
Because a lot of the time, they'll pick up other loads on the way.
Well, yeah.
A bike doesn't take up much room.
Oh,
so if they put it at the front of the trailer and load the back with other stuff, drop it off on the way, they're making a couple bucks here and there all the way down.
Shoot, that's not a bad deal.
Which, if the hauler knows what he's doing, most of the time that's what they do. They pick up loads going to the same areas.
Yeah, hopefully you don't get some of them guys you've seen on that TV show, but that's the only example I had to give. You ever gonna get anything shipped to you like that, son?
Oh God, no, nothing that big. Having to pay $300 in shipping doesn't really sit well with me. I don't care what I'm trying to buy; it's not worth it at that point.
A guy bought a car way out in a small town, and it was like a 3-hour drive to go get this car. I take him to go get it. It was not a big deal. Made the purchase. It was fine. He got the car back, and we drove it back and everything. But I'm like, man, dude. And this was back in Auto Trader was still a thing you could use.
It's still a thing now.
Well, yeah, but I mean, now it's on the internet too and everything. Yep. But back then it was the magazine. Me, I'm the type that I'd rather go somewhere and look at it, do that kind of thing, and buy it that way than looking through these magazines. Who knows what's in them,
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe he did it. He actually went through, found car, called, set it all up and everything. I was like, well, shit.
Yeah, because I've seen like that Carvana and shit, and I'm like, how does that work?
I actually looked into that the other day.
Did you?
They'll ship you a car from anywhere in the U.S. as long as it's in their deal, one of the dealers.
Oh, they only work specific dealers?
They are a dealer.
Okay.
Yeah, so if it's in any of their dealer locations across the U.S., they'll ship it to you for free.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do
and
drop off.
They come to your house, pick up your car if you're trading it in, and then give you the new one.
Nice.
All without having to leave your house.
That's nice.
Literally the Amazon of cars, which is crazy.
Amazon has its own garage section. You can buy cars on Amazon, which is really fucking
nuts.
weird.
I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah, you can buy and sell cars, car parts, houses.
Never thought we'd be buying stuff like that online
from
any website, let alone them.
I'm surprised that you can't go and get your prescription drugs from Amazon yet. Because you can
do that one too.
You can do basically everything else, yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably something they'd have to
get clear with the FDA and whatnot.
You're talking pharmaceutical. That's with the workers there. You just can't have some Joe Schmo throwing pills into
There's a lot of other companies that already ship it. Like, for instance, MedExpress. That's a major one. And it all comes down to the insurance, too. Insurance will only pay for certain people to deliver medicines.
Exactly. And Amazon, they'd have to hire pharmacists, and pharmacists aren't cheap. Those people get paid well. I mean, they're educated.
There's the reason why the billionaires are rich and not. They just invest in the pharmaceutical companies in a different way, not put it in theirs.
Yeah, I don't believe Amazon it would work that well that way. Too many things, too many factors in it that would just work against them. A lot of setup, expense, because your payroll is gonna be shooting through the roof with pharmacists. Because you figure you're just not gonna have 15 pharmacists in one location. You're gonna have pharmacists where you got warehousing, I'd imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So how many warehousings do they have? I don't know offhand, but I'd imagine it's a hell of a pay.
That, and also you have to stick to a consistent. The meds have to be shipped on this day, and arrive on this day and time, because there's some meds that are time sensitive that need to be chilled. There's other meds that people need to take like all the time, like maybe one pill a day.
Oh yeah.
And, you can't have that showing up a week late, having little Timmy off his Adderall and have his grades failing. You know what I mean?
Got everybody ready to strangulate the poor kid.
Yeah.
It's not his fault because Amazon dropped the ball.
See,
They're crazy though. I ordered something one day and it was here at 5 o'clock in the morning the next day.
I ordered a back brace off Amazon. Realized I was gonna need one. I think I was hanging out with you when I did it, and I'm like, all right, we'll see what this overnight shipping actually works. And it showed up. I think I wasn't even awake by the time it showed up. I woke up at like 6 o'clock.
Anywhere between 4 and 8 a.m. And I'm like, what? And then the old lady's leaving for work and walks outside and it's there. She's like, hey, it's here. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, because I got my back brace. It said it arrived at 4 a.m. And all I wanted was that thing to show up before I had to go to work. And I mean, shit, I don't work at 4.
Your brother ordered a controller and at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something, or maybe a little earlier than that, it was guaranteed to be here between 7 and 10 at night.
Yeah.
That day. And it showed up that day. He ordered it in the afternoon, got it in the evening. It was an Amazon worker, showed up, but it looked like his personal pickup truck, had put on his hazards, pulled over, jumped up, ran up, put it on.
There's a lot of that. That's called Amazon Flex. I actually am interested in that.
Okay.
So Amazon has their own delivery service, the Flex service, which there's a warehouse out in California that I helped set up a delivery service through that previously was a Flex warehouse. Every day, hundreds of people in their cars show up there, and they load up their cars with packages, and off they go.
That sounds a little sketchy. What's stopping them from, just piling a bunch of packages in their car and then dipping and then...
Oh, they're
Nothing.
vetted. They're vetted before.
Everything has, they have your ID and everything.
Oh, yeah, no.
There's a whole background check. They basically run you like you're becoming an employee there. In case packages go missing, you have a score. You're rated on a score.
Okay.
If your score gets too bad, they tell you can't deliver for them anymore.
Yeah, kind of
there
like
was a couple people
Ubers
that we had to let go.
Or not Ubers, but the delivery stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, they do it like that. You show up and grab packages, okay, and then you click or whatever you got. Like
if you have so many packages stolen, or customers say packages start going missing and they're coming up from your ride too many times, you'll be investigated. Amazon doesn't cheap out. They send people to watch where you deliver.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They're not all the time, but there were stops where I'm delivering and I'm like, oh, hey, I know you. They're like, yeah, we're just doing a check to make sure you're following process.
Were you following process?
Yeah.
You better have been.
Always, because you never know if there's someone down the road with binoculars watching. Legit, they don't cheap out. They are very serious about their business concepts. They didn't get so big just by letting people do whatever they want.
Oh, no, I agree with you totally on that. That's sounds like a hell of a system they set up.
Yeah, it's like the couple of bad people that had bad experiences always get the loudest voice when it comes to that type of stuff. But
yeah,
Amazon's really not that bad of a company to work for. They're just not overworked. They're just understaffed right now. It's like everyone else is. That's just the big problem right now. Is everyone's understaffed, so they get a bad name. But it's like because they're one of the major corporations, they get the loudest voice, the loudest stuff thrown on them.
That's definitely true. I know it is a short of workers in the market. It's definitely an employees market at the moment. Got to search for good workers, and people are just either found other gigs they like, or
they're just lazy.
Just don't want to get back in the workforce for one reason or another. All right, we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we'll discuss fluffy little more things.
Rella Radio Show, Monday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time. DJ CO1.
Welcome back. All right, here we go with Fluffy again. We're gonna get into a normal conversation with him. And I use normal loosely. What's your next hobby besides the motorcycle?
I like to hunt.
You like to hunt? What style? All of them, or just?
I've only done duck hunting. I bought a deer tag last year, but never got to use it.
Okay, so it's with guns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're also into Dungeons and Dragons, aren't you?
D&D, my guy. That's right.
I'm not cool. I'm not hip. I'm not with the times.
I murder passerbys just for looking at me wrong.
You want to talk about your experiences playing D&D?
I killed a guy that was just trying to save his family
And why would you do this?
because he dropped a barrel on my foot while running by me in his horse and carriage. I grabbed him and I squeezed his throat in front of his wife and children and then threw the body at him.
But why?
I'm a barbarian.
So, did you ever think you'd play D&D before you actually, like the first
I
time
hope
you
that
actually
one
did?
day. I never played it before. I'm like, oh, I'll see what it does.
So it was more so like you heard of it and you're like, well, I'm down if I ever get the chance.
Where did you find that played at?
Me and a couple guys from work.
Oh, okay.
Yep, we go over to buddy's house, play.
Start using all of his paper up.
I got a car full of dice.
Oh, yeah, you do.
You ain't playing dice like they do in the streets, are you?
No.
No, but I got enough to.
You have more than enough. You have, how many sets of dice do you have now?
At least 5.
But that's a lot. You don't need more than 2.
That's not near as many as my guy got. He has a box half the size of this table from floor to top full. He bought out a store's stock whenever they were going out of business.
Got
That's
him
what I
for
wanted to do.
near nothing then.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was about to say, why spend that kind of money? You know, but
Oh, yeah.
but going out of business, now I get that. Just to go and clear
He
a
walked in
store.
there, offered him $40 for the box. That's nothing because a set of dice is like $10.
Oh, yeah.
Right. No, I know what you're saying. That's a hell of a bargain. Still don't know what you're going to do with all those dice, but okay.
I sometimes reach in there and grab a random one if one of mine's not behaving.
There you go. Or else, you got someone new who's never played before. You can always give
Yep.
them a starter set.
We just tell him to go get in the box, choose your dice.
With that many dice, hopefully none are loaded. Get some loaded dice.
You gotta know how to throw those.
Oh, I know how to lose. I know how to do that much. I'd try to throw dice. I don't think I'd win too much. We used to have a dice game at the bar. I never wanted that damn thing.
I always assumed dice games were like Yahtzee.
Kind of, sort of, I guess. It depends on the bar, how they play their dice game. It's
Okay.
played a couple different ways, but I never win. All it is a bet amongst a certain amount of people.
Okay.
90% of the time, the bartender's in on it.
Oh.
But the bartender's playing with their own money. They're not using the bar's money. They know each other. Everybody knows each other, and they're playing.
Oh.
It's just something we do for the hell of it. Whoever wins ends up buying rounds anyway, so you ain't really gaining nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Figure 4 of us play. That's minus the bartender. That's 3 beers you're buying.
I have a question for you, Fluffy. What's your, since you're,
First, last, and social.
No. Since you live alone, quote unquote, no longer with your parents, basically, you're able to do things that you normally wouldn't be able to like do without them, yelling at you. Has there been anything you've done to exercise your parentless freedom?
Yes.
And what would that be?
Walk around the house butt ass naked because I can.
Why is that everyone's go-to?
With the blinds open. Because if you want privacy, you have to create your own privacy. And ain't no one can say shit.
Okay.
Actually, I don't walk in the living room. I'm walking around the house naked. I got weird neighbors. I don't want them to see my eeny weeny.
Shame them into stop looking.
Yeah, I
Make
don't
'em-
like this either. Stop looking.
Yeah, make them feel extremely uncomfortable.
We could both end this as long as you just stop looking. It's not gonna go away.
Why you being a peeping Tom? So you gotta turn it around. It ain't you prancing around nude in your home being on display. It's them being a peeping Tom.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They start calling them a perv and stuff. Turn around on them. They'll quit looking.
So basically, all you do is exercise your nudity rights.
Damn straight.
Because I've noticed that since you've actually moved out, before when you lived with your parents, I noticed the only chores you ever actually had was to take the dog out. Because you never really did much of else.
In the bathroom.
Well, okay, yeah, but I know you never really did.
Oh no, I was made to.
Yeah, but it
You
took
should
you.
see it. You should see it over there now.
Oh, but now you're over here. We stopped at your house earlier today, and before we even left, you made the bed. You what did
Look,
you?
that's a record show. I only made the bed because it makes her happy. Like, happy wife, happy life. You'll learn it.
Look
Hey.
at this guy trying to throw out wisdom.
All I'm saying though is that he's manned up and he's actually taking responsibility for his life.
Well, good
You-
for him. About damn time.
You didn't hear about I was playing with the kid, and we had this purple ball, and she likes it when I throw it at her. Even if it nails her in the face, she thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. And I missed
Basically,
her.
don't
and
let
I
her
hit-
play dodgeball.
Basically, she loves it. And it hit the floor and went up and hit the light fixture, and it was gone. I broke 2 light bulbs in the fixture. The glass was everywhere.
How could you destroy that poor light?
It was mayhem.
See, that's the problem. You got to know your limitations on horseplay.
I had played that game for 2 weeks with her.
At the very least, though, since you're in the home, you can just fix it your damn self instead of you being like, Ma, I
The
broke
landlord
something.
won't know about this. There'll be a new glass piece on there whenever we move out.
My point exactly.
Yeah, you don't want to be losing no deposit. They look for any reason not to let you have yours back. You know,
Our landlord is just always over there. Not always over there, but is makes himself well known. And it's like, I know you live a couple houses down.
I
I like my privacy. I don't like to.
See, I know how.
I don't like having to ask what to do on my own property, type of deal. Like,
Exactly.
I'm renting the property from you. As long as I'm not destroying your property or hurting your property, then there should be no discussion on what I'm doing.
Yeah, they're what they are, the nosy Nellies of landlords, and their whole gig of doing that is they let you know they're there. They're gonna see something right off the bat. All of a sudden they're coming up and mentioning something to you. You know, they seen it or whatever. Those types make it very, very rough.
Well, they know the house is always kept nice and clean and everything. So like, he's like, oh, I don't care. There's no rules. I know how the house is kept. It's like, okay.
Yeah,
you shouldn't really know how it's kept, but whatever.
It's hard to deal with landlords. It is. It's really rough.
It's
That's why I bought my own home.
When I say that,
couldn't
it
do
sounds like I'm complaining. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the guy. He's not bad. I get along with him. I actually went down there the other day to say hey, but you know, it's just one of those things where it's like, if I'm at my house, I want my privacy.
Exactly.
I don't care. Like, I want to put cameras up and have to stare at people.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to protect my property, and I like my privacy. I don't want no one on my property.
That's the biggest thing. That's why I got the
stuff
house.
in the backyard is laid out a certain way, and if something is moved, when I check on it, if it's moved at all, I know it's been touched. The way I close stuff, the way stuff's laid out in the backyard, like turned, if it's leaned, if it's nudged up against something, I know it's been messed with.
Oh, I know I've had landlords that would go into your area, move stuff around. What they're doing is looking through your stuff. Is what they're doing. But I had to do this or do that. When you say, hey, my stuff was moved in this. Well, then they want to come clean. At first, they'll play off they weren't them, and then they have to say something, you know, because you press it. I was more than happy to buy a home. The minute I got my opportunity to buy a house, I did. Here, you can't tell me what to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is my home. You don't like it, don't come here. My property is kept up. I don't have 10-foot tall grass, nothing like that, so neighbors can't complain about nothing. We got good neighbors, so we don't worry about much. You know, here, that's the best part. And getting to know your neighbors. Living in apartment places or rental properties where, you know, neighbors change out or they're cold to you because you're a renter, not an owner. That happens too. That sucks. Where the neighbors are kind of like, I ain't gonna say snitches, but more trying to make it to where you don't want to stay there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you ever get the opportunity to buy your own home, and you know what you
me and
want,
the old
where
lady
you
were
want to
talking
be.
about.
Yeah, it's because it's a big decision to do the first time around, because you got to get the right for yourself so you can actually get good years in there, not be having to repair things
Oh, yeah.
or a real long drive to work for no reason at first, you know, because that's something some people don't want to do. In your older years, maybe it's okay to have that longer ride to work because you wanted to get away from the city or whatever. So, all right, I'll tell you what, since you both are dumbfounded sitting here, I will do this for you. We'll call this an episode.
Alrighty.
And we'll see if we can get out of this one with our dignities intact. All right, Mr. Fluffy, you take us out.
And that's a wrap on the Dad and Son podcast. Thank you for listening. Please tune in next week, and we will see you guys there. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. This is Dad.
And Son on the Coffee Bar Stories.
A DTZ Entertainment Presentation.
Check in every 2 weeks for a new episode. All music was brought to you today by Kevin MacLeod.